Fairfield, Connecticut is changing way faster than anyone expected, and it really boils down to one thing. The state of Connecticut is facing a massive Connecticut housing shortage. So think back to before 2020, where we hardly had any apartment buildings in town. But in just the last 6 years, that has completely flipped. And it's not just housing either. Our commercial corridors are getting a total overhaul. So in this video, we're looking at the biggest projects defining the future. I'm Jennifer Lockwood, your Fairfield real estate advisor. I'm tracking these moves because they're already shifting home values and demand across town. You need to know where the noise and the traffic are before you're going to buy and sell. Be sure to catch my relocation guide, which is a free downloadable link below, and it is full of information about each town and what to expect when you live here. Also, my contact information is on the screen and below. You can schedule a call with me if you are thinking of buying or selling in the area. Now, I know a lot of longtime residents are really worried about how this is going to hit our schools and our infrastructure. But here's the kicker. A lot of these projects are using a state law called 830G. Many of you probably heard about it, but basically it allows developers to completely bypass our local zoning laws as long as they include affordable housing units. So it means our local boards have very little power to say no, even if the building feels way too big for the neighborhood. It's why our local boards often have their hands tied. It's a huge concern for neighbors worried about our schools and our traffic. It's creating a lot of tension between the need for housing and the desire to keep Fairfield, well, basically Fairfield. Let's start with the biggest one first, the crossings at Fairfield Metro. The crossings at Fairfield Metro is a massive 23-acre site by the Fairfield's Black Rock Station, and they're going to make it into a brand new hub. It's a huge mixed-use campus that's finally coming to life after many years of planning. The first big milestone was the opening of the Creek Line, which are luxury apartments, in December 2025, and that just kind of kicked things off. It is the first 71 apartment units. But that's just the beginning. When the whole project is finished, we're looking at 5 separate residential buildings with a total of 357 apartments. They range from studios to large 2-bedroom layouts, and about 20% of them are designated as affordable housing to help meet the 830G requirements. Beyond the housing, this project's designed to be a major local destination. One of the most talked about features is the 118-room upscale hotel. There's also going to be 40,000 square feet of retail and restaurant space, plus 70,000 square feet of concourse building that will house offices and even a new lobby for the train station. It's really a massive undertaking that includes public walking trails along Ash Creek, and it is all supported by a $45 million infrastructure work that the town has put into place to make sure it can handle all of this growth. Now, the next big project, the Circle Hotel and Apartments. This is a major gateway that really highlights the tension between the local preferences and the state housing laws. The property owners proposed a preferred mixed-use design that would demolish the existing 80-room motel, which they've described as economically obsolete, to make way for a high-end 110-room New England-style inn and a 250-unit apartment complex. This version of the project was approved by Planning and Zoning in May 2025, but it's currently tied up in the court because a group of neighbors appealed the decision over the concerns for traffic and environmental impacts by the nearby salt marsh. Here's where it gets pretty interesting. Because of the local pushback, the developers actually moved forward with a Plan B under 830G state law. This alternative application, which also has been approved, is much larger, and it swaps the hotel for a building that stands 6 stories tall. It is very different than the original plan because it does not include the hotel, which the town actually needs. This version includes 140 affordable units, which is a huge jump from the 30 units that was on the original plan. The next mega project cluster I want to talk about on Black Rock Turnpike near the Mirror Parkway. The Black Rock Turnpike corridor is undergoing a massive transformation, moving from traditional commercial strip to a high-density mixed-use hub. This site is being driven by several large-scale residential and medical buildings designed to meet growing demand for housing. There's 2 projects for apartment buildings and 1 project for the Hartford Healthcare Medical Building, which has already been built. The first apartment building is called Heritage Hill, and it's on 4221 Black Rock Turnpike right along the Merritt Parkway. And this is where the Bridgeport-based developer proposed a 3-building, 204-unit apartment community on 15-acre site. This development, which includes affordable housing units under 830G statute again, features 3 4-story buildings and a central clubhouse. Further down the road at 4480 Black Rock Turnpike, right near the iconic Hotel Hi-Ho, the town recently approved a 96-unit apartment development, and this consists of 2 6-story buildings with 30% of the units as affordable housing. The project here is a prime example, again, of the tension between the state housing mandates and the local neighborhood character. Although the Town Planning and Zoning Commission officially approved the 96 complex last year, the apartments have not yet been built and the site remains undeveloped. The project is currently a legal battleground. Immediately following the narrow 4-3 approval by the town, a local group called the Fairfield Initiative for Town Sustainability filed an appeal to block construction. The developer was able to push the project through despite these concerns, even as Fairfield has since qualified for the moratorium on new filings. But for now, everything is on hold while the courts weigh the neighbors' appeal against the state housing laws. Corridor isn't just adding apartments, it's also adding significant medical and commercial growth. Recent activity I just mentioned earlier was the multi-million-dollar building for the Fairfield Cancer Center, and that has since opened. While these projects bring new amenities and tax revenue, they also spark a lot of pushback from residents worried about the increased density and that it will overwhelm the local infrastructure and already worsen the already heavy traffic that we see in town. So to wrap everything up, it's important to see that all this building isn't happening in a vacuum. The town is also making massive behind-the-scenes moves in both Sacred Heart University expansion and essential infrastructure upgrades in order to support all of this growth. Sacred Heart University expansion shifted its focus heavily towards the West Campus. The West Campus is a former GE headquarters, and they turned it into a specialized campus of innovation, while high-profile projects like the $70 million family arena that was opened in early 2023 that serves as the home for their hockey and skating. The expansion hasn't stopped there. Sacred Heart launched a new strategic plan in March of 24, specifically aimed at managing their rapid student growth. And this included an ongoing modernization of this West Campus that's now about 80% complete, which houses AI, cybersecurity, and market space labs, effectively moving thousands of students and faculty to the new corridors and away from the traditional main campus center. There has been critical infrastructure upgrades by the town. All of these new apartments and student facilities, they did put a serious strain on town pipes and power, which is why we're seeing orange cones up everywhere lately. So here are a couple of the things the town has done. First is the East Trunk Line, and it's one of the biggest projects, and it's $31 million, and it is a sewer line replacement. Second, there's water resiliency, and that is the Aquarian Water Company is working on a long-range plan for a new 36-inch water transmission main stretching from Fairfield to Westport in order to strengthen the local water supply. And then finally, storm resilience. Following the years after Superstorm Sandy, the town just finished a major microgrid project in late 2025, and this ensures that critical town facilities like the wastewater treatment plant stay powered up and operational even during major storms or outages. We're watching a town built on quiet suburban living evolve into something way more connected and dynamic. Honestly, I have barely scratched the surface. There are so many more apartment projects right now that are in the works and have been approved. If you ignore these changes, it's easy to make a really expensive mistake, like buying into a pocket that's about to get way busier or overlooking the area that's quietly becoming more valuable. I'm Jennifer Lockwood, your local real estate advisor. My focus is helping you understand where this market is actually heading, not just what's on the MLS today. So if you're thinking about moving here or you're already live in town and want clarity on how these mega projects impact your specific neighborhood, reach out anytime. My contact information is on the screen and below. I can walk you through the data and the development map so you can make your next move with total confidence. I hope you found this information helpful, and I will see you on the next one.